Judge told she doesn't have jurisdiction over the living man, by Master John of the family Timbrell. John Timbrell, from Drybrick in the Forest of Dean, refers to himself in a Game of Thrones style and was appearing at Gloucester Crown Court. A Forest of Dean pensioner risked being locked up for contempt of court when he told the judge that she does not have jurisdiction over the living man, so do not order me about. John Timbrell, 76 of Cidermill Cottage, The Stenders, Drybrick, attended Gloucester Crown Court on Friday to appeal against convictions for assault in June and July of last year. But when he arrived at court he initially refused to identify himself, questioning what jurisdiction the part-time judge, Recorder Anna Midgley, had over him. "I am a living man, you are representing a dead thing," Timbrell told Recorder Midgley in a reference to the Ministry of Justice. Recorder Midgley responded, "You call it a dead thing but other people say it is a legal entity. I do have jurisdiction over this court." When he continued to refuse to identify himself to the court, Recorder Midgley asked if he referred to himself in Game of Thrones style as Master John of the family Timbrell, to which he replied, "Yes." Recorder Midgley then began the hearing of the appeal and asked Nicholas Lee, for the Crown Prosecution Service, to outline the case. "I voided the conviction myself." But Mr. Timbrell interjected and said he had voided the conviction himself and therefore there was no need for the hearing. Recorder Midgley told him he could not void a conviction, to which he responded, "Who says I don't have the right? You are representing a dead thing." At this point Recorder Midgley warned Timbrell that he could be found in contempt of court if he continued shouting. "If you continue to disrupt proceedings, shout at me or interrupt me, you will be in contempt of court. I am giving you a warning to stop shouting and talking over me or I will move to contempt of court proceedings," she told him. Timbrell responded whilst taking a note that, "For the record, Judge Midgley ignores the law. I cannot continue with my appeal because the case against me has been voided." An entourage of supporters including a man from America. He went on to say as he stood up with his entourage of 5 supporters, "I will now leave the court because it is obvious you won't deal with it fairly." As he left the court he said, "My opinion as a living man is to do as I please. This has gained worldwide interest. One man has come from America to listen to your corruption." After he left, Timbrell moved to the public gallery with his supporters. While in the public gallery, Recorder Midgley asked the court-appointed barrister, Caroline Williams, for her submissions. Miss Williams was not in court to represent Timbrell but was court-appointed to ask questions of a witness during the appeal, but she told the court that from the emails she has read and brief chat with him that it is his belief that the appeal should not be happening because the conviction should be void. His instructions are almost non-existent. I don't want to misrepresent him and his instructions are almost non-existent. I was court-appointed to ask questions of the witness put by Mr. Timbrell. But he doesn't feel the appeal should be happening, she said. He says he had the right to act as he did because of ownership of the land. That is my understanding based on limited instructions. But I don't want to get in the way of what Mr. Timbrell wants to do. Prosecuting the case, Nicholas Lee agreed that the understanding he had was that Timbrell felt he had the right to act as he did because it was his land. Recorder Midgley wanted to be clear what Timbrell planned to do, so said she would address him directly as he stood in the public gallery taking notes. "I note he is still in court in the public gallery, so I will address him directly. If he withdraws the appeal, then due to court jurisdiction the conviction will stand. If he wishes the appeal to proceed to have the conviction overturned, he can do so by remaining in person or giving instructions to Miss Williams. I will give 5 minutes to make a decision on whether you wish to return to court to proceed with the appeal or wish to withdraw on the basis you feel the conviction is voided. If he doesn't return to court, this appeal will not continue and I will take it that he has withdrawn the appeal. I cannot withdraw something that doesn't exist." Timbrell shouted from the public gallery, "I cannot withdraw something that doesn't exist." After a 5-minute adjournment, Recorder Midgley returned to court with the 2 magistrates and stated that Timbrell had not returned. "Our collective view is that he was warned quite clearly that if he didn't give Miss Williams instructions or return to court, we will take it that he has withdrawn his appeal. He did attend, indicated he wished to withdraw and then left," she said. Miss Williams said she is aware that Timbrell has arguments he wished to put forward but has chosen not to put them forward himself. To formalize, Mr. Timbrell attended today. He has indicated throughout that he doesn't accept the jurisdiction of the court and he has legal argument that voids the conviction. He came into court and indicated he withdrew the appeal because he had voided the conviction. He returned to the public gallery, listened carefully and was taking notes. He was given clear warnings if he did not return the court would take it that he was withdrawing the appeal and the conviction will stand. The legal representatives have had chance to see if there is any law that prevents the withdrawal of the appeal, she said. Timbrell will be written to. Recorder Midgley directed that Timbrell be written to explain the outcome of the hearing and remind him that he is subject to a suspended sentence order passed by a district judge and that he must comply with all orders. She also ordered that he attend probation where required and if he does not comply with the order or commits any further offenses he likely serve the custodial sentence. She said the letter to him should explain the terms of the restraining order that was also put in place.